looking a little bit tired, and I've been up all night. But I've had a lot of support. My wife particularly, a lot of support from midwives and nurses, and that's what makes a difference in the poorest countries. If you have a midwife who actually helps you breastfeed, to actually get the benefits for your child. But on the other hand, if you have a big company marketing at you that the best thing is formula, then you're actually going to move towards the formula. So what we need is a combination of these health workers, and we need the big companies to actually honestly say that breastfeeding is best for mums where they can do it. And then on top of that, we need David Cameron at this Hunger Summit to agree a package of measures which will really invest in the things that will address child malnutrition and breastfeeding in particular.
Just emphasise, save the children, thank you.
Me.
For 24 years, Trevor Hicks blamed South Yorkshire Police for the death of his daughters at the Hillsborough football ground. Sarah and Victoria, along with 94 other Liverpool fans, died after the crush at the Leppings Lane end. But on that day, one police officer fought to save Victoria's life, and that same officer also had to tell Trevor that his daughter had died. Now they've been reunited. Dan Johnson has their story.
Two men who've been on each other's minds for almost a quarter of a century, brought together by chance in unimaginable horror. 2 decades of anger, bitterness and injustice have kept them apart. Hillsborough destroyed many lives. No one lost more than Trevor Hicks.
Presumably they'd have had families, maybe kids of their own. I've missed out paying for a couple of weddings.
On the Leppings Lane terrace, he was separated from his daughters when the crush began.
I thought I saw either Sarah or Vicky passed over onto the pitch.
Peter McGuinness was a young PC on duty at the game.
No one really quite knew what to do, where to go. So you try and focus on one or two things, and I tried to focus on Victoria.
They put her into an ambulance and went to hospital. Doctors tried to resuscitate Vicky, but she didn't survive.
It was him who gave me the bad news that Vicky was dead.
I think he gave him a hug and then everything else kicked in.
The Hicks later found out Sarah was also one of the victims. Trevor went on to become chairman of the Hillsborough Families Support Group, leading the campaign for justice. But now he's reaching out to the officer he calls a hero.
I feel it's something that is long overdue. So there's an element of guilt, but I should have done it sooner.
Trevor is the one who's lost 2 daughters. I've lost one. Trevor. Long time. Very long time.
Apologies for not doing this a lot sooner. I felt this is overdue, meeting you face to face. And as I say, so it's good to shake your hand. Sometimes properly. I found him a really nice guy. Again, we talked about a few things on the day, and his recollections are very similar to mine.
Having been through so much, you still feel for him, really. You can see his pain still coming out in all aspects of his conversation.
The fight for justice goes on. Reconciliation seems a long way off. Trevor and Peter have made a small but bold first step. Perhaps, in time, others will follow. Dan Johnson, BBC News, Sheffield.
The tiny 3-man submarine Alvin has been the workhorse of underwater research for nearly 50 years. Now it's going in for a service, Palagesh reports.
The Alvin, a submarine that's explored more of the deep sea than any other research vessel. It can take a crew of 2 scientists and a pilot deep into the sea's midnight zone, where no sunlight can penetrate. But so far, it's only been able to dive 4,500 metres, and so not able to explore the very depths of the ocean. Now it's having an upgrade that will enable it to go much deeper. At its heart, a new cockpit for the crew, an airtight sphere forged from 15.5 metric tons of titanium.
At 6,500 meters, it'll be about 10,000 psi, which is like putting your average house on your big toe, 10,000 pounds per square inch at our rated depth. And to get there, the sphere is about 3 inches thick. It's almost 11 centimeters, and a special titanium material to withstand those pressures.
The scientists enter the submarine through this hatch. Let's take a look at what's inside. And I'm now entering what they call the personnel sphere. And it's from here that they'll be able to see the very bottom of the sea, discovering new life and seeing sights that no one has ever seen before. The new cockpit is slightly larger than the old one. It has new instruments and 5 viewing windows. Alvin began service nearly 50 years ago. As well as charting the sea floor, it located a lost hydrogen bomb in the Mediterranean Sea in 1966. Susan Humphreys has been on board Alvin during some of its greatest scientific discoveries. Now that it will soon be able to explore nearly all the seabed, what does she expect to find next?
I think we could discover many different new sorts of marine life. We could discover new geological processes, and we will be going to places that we have never been before. And I have no doubt that we will be making new discoveries when we go there.
Once its refit is completed next month, Alvin will set off on new missions, sending scientists to explore uncharted waters at the bottom of the sea. Palak Ghosh, BBC News, Boston.
But what are conditions like above water? Here's Carol Kirkwood with the weather.
Good morning. For many of us, it is a chilly start to the day today. There's a touch of frost around, but for most of the land, it's going to be a dry day with sunny spells and lighter winds than yesterday, so it's feeling quite pleasant in that sunshine. High pressure is still very much dominating our weather, effectively keeping the weather fronts at bay out towards the west. Here, the isobars are a little bit closer together, so breezy, but that will help break up the cloud. And you can see from that weather front just the cloud that we're looking at. For many of us, there's a bit of cloud first thing, but already the cloud is starting to break up and we will see that sunshine. So, a chilly start at 9 o'clock across much of Scotland, temperature a wee bit more cloud, but breaking up quite nicely in the west. And for Northern Ireland, looking at bright spells, but some sunshine developing. But again, a chilly start. So I put the wind arrows on just to show you it is rather breezy, but the breeze will ease up as we go through the course of the day. And the sun will also break through for many parts of the country. So again, for most of us, we'll have lighter winds than we did yesterday, so feeling pleasant. Perhaps a wee bit more cloud clinging on to parts of the North Sea coastline. Temperatures today will down a touch on yesterday, but with the sunshine and also the lighter winds, it will feel rather nice. We're looking at between 6 degrees and 8 or 9. Now, as we head through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening and overnight, we hang on to a lot of clear skies, which means it's going to be a cold night with some frost around. In England and Wales, especially so in the south, we're more prone to a bit more low cloud coming in and also some mist and some fog patches forming. But through the course of tomorrow, you'll find that they will lift, most of them quite readily. There might be the odd stubborn patch of fog that sticks into the afternoon. And tomorrow